All right, today on the show we have Adrian Vázquez. Adrian is a New York City DIY creator, lives in Brooklyn, and scours the streets of New York City for good finds as to what he can make furniture out of. He has grown his social following from this, and from doing so, he has landed himself a role at Serhant as creative director. That's creative director of the entire company of Serhant. So anything you see digital that comes from the umbrella of Ryan Serhant has probably come from the mind of this guy. Thank you. Welcome, Adrian Vázquez.
Thanks, dude. I will give you the sequence of events because the content was only the last 6 months of it.
Oh, wait. Which content?
My personal content?
Yeah.
It's only been the last 6 months of my life.
Oh.
I started Ryan's vlog 5.5 years ago.
Do tell.
Yeah, dude. So 5.5 years ago, I had just moved from New York. I moved to New York City from the middle of nowhere, California, dude. Like
What city? In the middle of nowhere?
Newman, California. Population 12,000 people. My high school graduating class was maybe 75 kids.
If anyone is watching this from Newman, California, or listening from Newman, California, oh, it's where you're from? So
Yeah.
someone will probably be listening. I was gonna say I'll send you a stack of a stack of $2 bills, but I'm not sending you $200. Scratch that.
I haven't been there in a minute, but that's where I'm from, dude. Landed here. You want the whole like journey, bro? Because I can get into it.
Let's start with where are you now? Like not the future. Like right now, what are you doing?
Right now, my full-time job is I'm the creative director of Ryan Serhant's content. So I help lead the studios team downstairs. There's currently 20 creatives down there that I help manage and give creative direction to. And on the side, I've finessed this creator persona. I've garnered over 1.4 million followers in the last 6 months.
Damn.
Over 300 million views. I can keep going on. But yeah, dude, I got really lucky.
I mean, just keep juicing it up. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a
dude.
lot.
It's bro, you know what it is? It's because I started out filming and editing every single day. And then since we grew the team, since we've scaled to like have the listed department, the brokerage department, outside of just Ryan stuff, I'm now not editing and filming anymore. So I'm naturally like a creative. I need to be like in the weeds and making shit. Can I curse on here? Is this?
Yes.
Okay. And so I was like,
yeah, you can curse.
fuck yeah, you can. So I just needed to do something so I could just feel like I'm making something, dude. I'd like to think that I'm like an artist. And if I'm not like, because my day is generally meetings.
You are
and
an
like,
artist.
I am an artist. But like artists don't thrive in like meetings and giving notes on stuff. I fucking need to make something, dude. Also, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I feel like a lot of the credit was like, oh, well, you only like, we only got Ryan, popping on social because he was already a celebrity. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it by myself then. Let me find something that I could do where there's nobody else that's credible to like help me with this. I'm gonna do it myself.
Got it. So that's like, let's say you take the Golden State Warriors. They're sick. Steve Kerr goes there, and it's like not giving Kerr credit
yeah.
for X amount of championships.
Exactly. Literally that. That's a great example. So I was like, I'm gonna take it into my own hands. I'll check the boxes, and I had an interest in making my apartment cool. I was like, I'm just gonna build a format around this, and it's worked. And now I'm in this weird spot where it's like, I should probably be spending more time on that. Like I'm getting brand deals. I'm signed to an agency. It's like,
How long did it take you from when you started 6 months ago
yeah.
to getting signed with an agency?
I officially signed 2 months ago, so 4 months in.
Damn. And where were you at follower-wise? Because you're at, I think on IG, you're over 400,000 now.
I'm at 427K.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
No, but who's counting, right?
Who's counting? I could tell you, dude, I'm a numbers guy, dude. I like data and like numbers. As much as like an art guy isn't into numbers, like I'm into numbers. I think that's why my content works
Are
too.
you on the spectrum?
Maybe. Fuck. No, don't put me on the spot like that, bro.
You're on the spot. It's not a negative thing. Being
No,
on the
I'm
spectrum
kidding. I'm
is
kidding.
not a negative thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm
Because if
so,
you are, I didn't mean
It makes
in a
sense.
negative way, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm going to put all this effort into like the content I'm making, I need it to be backed by data, making sure that I'm doing all the right things. Like retention graphs, I like get off on that stuff, bro. It's insane. But because that can inform my creative decisions, it's like, okay, well, people are dropping off here. Obviously, don't do that segment. You know what I mean? And I won't. And
Segment for Ryan.
or whatever, just in general, whatever video project that I'm working on, like on Ryan's content. If I see that the audience dropped off on him washing his hands, I'll never have him wash his hands again on the video. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. And I've incorporated it. And honestly, too, dude, like the reason I think my content works and I've been able to like build this is because for the last 5.5 years, I've been able to try everything on Ryan's content. Ryan has been my guinea pig for the last 5 years, unintentionally.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know what I mean? So I've been able to see what works, what doesn't work. I never wanted to be on camera, dude. I just fell into it. I was like, I'm doing this for other people. Let me just try it for myself. I have all this knowledge. So yeah, this is all
And
that.
when you do it, because I was introduced to you from after. So I'd seen you in the office. We never met.
Yeah.
And then after I had interviewed JT,
Yeah.
I walk out and boom, you guys knew each other through the interweb or through TikTok and through the social world.
Yep.
And then JT, we leave and JT's like, yeah, that guy fucks. And
Nice.
I then looked up your stuff and I was like, oh, I've already seen a half a dozen of these videos.
That's so funny.
And I was like, oh, now I'm putting a face to an account.
Yeah.
And yeah, so how did it all begin?
Dude, I mean, I never cared about like interior design or whatever. Like, I just think that I wanted to find a format that's relatable. I think relatability is the most important thing on social
And
right
you
now.
learned that
Here.
by working on Ryan's stuff. So Ryan Serhant is ultra mega power broker, coach, businessman.
Yeah.
But you, for the last almost half a dozen years, have been working on molding his social so he becomes relatable.
Exactly. Like, how do you, and that's hard. Like, how do you make someone that's ultra successful, ultra wealthy, somewhat relatable? And it's like, you're not going to make a $20 million apartment seem relatable. But if you can be like a fun guy who's enjoying it, Ryan, like enjoying the experience of being in that, that's relatable. You know what I mean? Because anybody who goes in there will like be fascinated and interested, and that's why Ryan's content worked, because he was excited to be there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's finding things like that, and on a smaller scale on my end, I know that people, now that we've spent a lot of time at home after COVID, you know what I mean? A lot of us want a prettier apartment, and my format is I want to make my apartment cool. I don't want to pay for it. So finding these things is so interesting. You know what I mean?
You say that? That's your tagline.
Yeah, basically.
You should. That's your merch right there. I want to make my apartment cool. Dot
Yeah.
dot dot on the back. I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, I think the bigger picture, and I'm right now the creator economy. There's been a blueprint. You see the Logan Pauls of the world who've created a brand, who's created an audience, and is building a brand or service strategically. Prime, his hydration drink, is competing with Gatorade like no one expected. Mr. Beast is gonna compete with McDonald's in like 5 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, like, and they're creators who have built the market. You know what I mean? Emma Chamberlain, she's a coffee fanatic, built a coffee brand. It's competing, dude, and I think that is the future. Ryan Serhant, this guy who garnered an audience, built a brokerage. Like, the strategy is build an audience within a niche and then build a product or service around it. All that to say, the end goal for myself is to build a home decor, home goods brand that competes with like the restoration hardwares of the world. And right now, in the early stages of my creator journey, it's building trust with an audience within a niche. I'm not going to sell anything that's not authentic to me or the audience, because I want to build that trust. So when I do come out with, hey, this is a $50 broom. It's a cool looking broom. I love it. Here's why you should buy it.
And I feel like with your brand, the broom would have recycled XYZ.
Sure, exactly. I just think we're shifting into a world where if there's a prettier, nicer looking home goods object, people are going to spend the extra $30, $40.
Right.
You know what
Not
I
only
mean?
that, it's also your audience.
Exactly.
And your audience will then spiderweb to their friends because they will now have this cool looking,
Yeah.
inexpensive product
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And I also think too, like I don't want to be the trash guy forever. Like that's
Right.
not the idea is to like have legs to grow. Like I don't know anything about design. So what's a better way to start than like with this have no style, this scrappy style, and then like have my taste in like design mature. You know what I mean? And I want my audience to follow that along, and I think they will again mature their taste, and then by that time 5 years I can put out a higher end product, you know what I mean, like release
100%.
a cool looking candle or a coffee table or whatever, you know what I mean. So that's the end goal. I see it so clearly.
So do I, and I see a lot of collaborations in your future because
Totally.
there's so many people in the sustainable space.
Yeah.
Whether it's for you sustainable furniture, but a lot of people just sustainable ingredients.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about doing a collab with a brand that's all about sustainable ingredients,
Yeah.
that's something that fits with what you do. Because let's say you are building a sustainable cupboard. What could go in there? Sustainable products that you get from the grocery store.
Yeah.
And those are all brands that could then collab with you, pay you to now post their stuff.
Yeah.
But most important word that we keep going back to is to collaborate.
Correct. And that's what I'm trying to figure out too. It's like I haven't found a good way to like organically collaborate with like a person. I want to collaborate with influencers and brands in a way that makes sense, and like that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. What I've found working on short form social is finding one format and just doing it consistently and well, and then slowly over time evolve and adapt. Because I think it's a little jarring if you're like, let me try this. Your audience loves you for that, and then you completely left turn, and they're like, oh well, I don't like you for that. You know what I mean? It's like if you go watch MTV, and then like a history show comes on, you're like, oh well, I didn't come. You know what I mean?
100%.
So for me, I'm just developing this format. I still feel like you need to earn, especially with short form content, you need to earn the right of your audience. I think it's tricky to just be like, hey, I make cool shit and my audience will do anything that I say. I think that's, for short form, that's incorrect. We live in a swipe, low, attention span world where like you need to give it time and you need to like build that relationship with the audience. And so with my format, I just need to like just be consistently putting out there for a longer period and then make slow adjustments to a format that I like.
Right, but by doing that, well, in the process of doing that, you're being analytical with it.
Yeah.
So as you change, you're seeing from the last 6 years, 5 years with Ryan, you've already done a lot of tweaking, but now you have an even more advanced tweaking. It's kind of like ChatGPT. The more questions you ask it, and the more information you feed it, the more intelligent it gets with pushing out a more highly advanced response.
Correct.
So you are taking all of this, your internal algorithm,
Yeah.
and you could put out a more advanced response,
Yeah.
which is only elevating your business. Like right now, you do the short form where you create furniture for your home.
Yeah.
Maybe the next step is you do a YouTube page where you're doing long form, where you're designing someone's townhouse with all sustainable products from around New York City.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Let's say you did first episode New York City, next episode Chicago, then we do Miami, then we do Austin, and you're going around the country. Adrian's flying around the country, sponsored by Kayak, and
Nice.
and you are designing people's homes,
Yeah.
and you're being followed around that city, just grabbing stuff, throwing it in the pickup,
Yep.
and you're processing how you're going to create this in their home, and now you have a finished product after the whole episode of creating it.
Yeah. I think so. Funny you say that. So part of the long form
That was
journey,
a lot of word vomit.
No, but that's good. That's the one route that I could go. The one that I'm working on now, because I still think long form is important. I don't want like people to think that long form isn't. Long form is king. You know what I mean? That's where more dollars, but that's where a better relationship with your audience is built because you spend more time with them. You know what I mean? You'll watch an 8-minute video and you're talking to this person. It's more. I don't know what it is, but short form, again, it's so fast.
More personal.
It's more personal.
Yeah.
So I am trying to figure out the long form stuff. For me, I think the current plan is like, let's build the audience via shorts and I'm growing fast. I think my YouTube is approaching 500,000 subscribers. And I think I will slowly put out, because if my goal, my Northern Star, is to put out furniture or come out with my own like home goods furniture line, I want to learn how to build it. So like, I think my long form stuff will be like, I'm flying to Canada because there's a guy who builds chairs very well. He's going to teach me how to build a chair. I'm going to come back in partnership with Home Depot, who's going to provide me the tools and stuff, whatever it is, and I'm going to build a version of a chair. So that's evergreen content. How to build a chair. That video could be watched tomorrow, 20 years from now, and it's still relevant like content. That makes sense?
1,000%. And with that on YouTube, you're then creating a revenue stream that's going to be consistent for your kids.
Literally that. That's the other thing too. I'm a dad. So like that's kind of like my life right now is juggling being a dad, being a creative director, being a content creator, being a a boyfriend. It's tricky. It's weird. It's like a interesting.
Which of those balls is the heaviest in your
Dude,
life?
I think being a dad, right? Like being a parent now it's not easy, dude. Like I'm responsible for 2 little boys who are gonna be adults in this world.
It's nuts.
So it's like giving them
How old?
11 and 8.
11 and 8. What's 11 and 8 growing up in Brooklyn, New York? What is that like what's that like for them? What's that like for you?
I mean, they were living in California for a while, but the area that I'm from, it's not as diverse as here. So I wanted to bring
Sheltered.
It's super sheltered. So I wanted to bring them into an area where it was more diverse. There was more life lessons. I feel like kids who are from New York City, like they're from New York City. They're like street smart. You know what I mean?
I grew up in Queens.
There you go. So
I was taking public transportation at 11 years old. 10 years old by myself.
Totally.
Maybe not 10.
And I want to instill that in my kids, dude. Like, back where I'm from, if you're not Hispanic or white, that's really all that's over there, dude. Here, you get to meet new people. You're exposed to different things, good and bad, but like all that builds character. You know what I mean?
1,000%.
And so that's that. And then so just spending time. And funny enough, dude, like the only reason I'm in this creative world is because when my son, my currently 11, when he was 4, he wanted a YouTube channel at 4. I had no interest in making videos at that time, but I was super fortunate. My mom allowed me to play sports, and she presented all these opportunities for me. And Landon, he expressed wanting to create videos.
This is the origin story.
This is the origin story.
Adrian Vlogs became Adrian Vlogs, and it was through Logan.
Landon,
sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I said Logan because I said origin stories, and like Wolverine came to my head.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's literally where my head went.
If it wasn't for my 4-year-old at the time wanting a YouTube channel, I wouldn't be here. Which is crazy to say, dude. And it's funny because I thought I had my first kid at 19, I thought my life was over. And I was like, well, here I am. I'm at this job.
How old was she?
We're both 19. Mm-hmm. And I was convinced my life was over, dude. And it's so funny how just like a mindset shift like changed my whole life. If it wasn't for Landon being born, I'd still be at my old job, partying, like doing nothing with my life, dude. And so when he expressed interest, I was like, what is this YouTube thing? How are people making money? How is this 8-year-old kid named Ryan's Toy Review making $11 million a year? What? And I just became obsessed with that world. And is why I'm here today, dude, which is wild to think.
What was the first video that you created with Landon?
It was a toy review. It was like, that channel's still alive. And we went viral a couple times. This was 8 years ago. It was called Kidstopia, and I think it's still, if you search it, dude, it's still there. But I think it was like, there was those eggs. That was like a thing that kids would open up.
It was a different prize every time.
Exactly. It was like that, Play-Doh, and slime. And then that's when I saw like the potential of this world, because we'd make these videos daily, dude. I went part-time at my old retail job so we could make more of these videos. Toy companies would send us toys all the time. Not paid, but it was just like, hey, like, and I didn't know. I was like, yeah, we'll take the toys, we'll make videos. I didn't realize like I could milk money out of these guys. And that's what kind of opened my eyes.
It was a learning process. Getting the in-kind toys then made you better at your craft, which then brought you to New York.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, not, like in hindsight, like I don't know, man. I never used to believe like everything happens for a reason, but god damn it, everything happens for a reason.
So you and Landon start making videos. You're getting better and better and better at creating.
Yeah.
You decide to move to New York 5 years ago.
5 years ago, I had a weird life journey thing happen where me and their mom broke up, and I was just like in this weird spot in my life where I was like, I can't be here, and she kind of just gave me the opportunity to like leave. I was only supposed to be here for a year. I was delusionally trying to work for Gary Vee. Like that was my thing, that was my spiel, and I ran into Ryan. But yeah, that was that. Like I was in a weird spot, and that's why we started making videos.
Have you ever like thought about leaving Ryan to go work with Gary Vee?
No.
Would you?
No. I got a job offer. When Ryan offered me a full-time job,
Yeah.
Gary's team reached out to me 3 weeks later asking for a full-time job.
Like for 137 or like which department?
It was for Team Gary Vee.
Got it.
So it would have been the exact team that I wanted to be on. But I was like, yeah, I could work for this guy who already is established, who already has a massive creative team.
Massive social presence with a massive creative team.
Whereas Ryan at the time, he was just that guy from Bravo. So I was like, if I can make this work, I will have much more impact, and I will be a much bigger cog in this massive machine. Whereas like if I would have just joined Gary's team, D-Rock was already a guy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would have been a small cog in a massive machine. And the way that I saw it is like I already took that risk coming to New York. Why not fucking take another one? You know what I mean? I'm already here, dude. I'm already all in, dude. Might as well do it one more time. And that was the risk I took with Ryan, and it was just the scariest. I have the email still where I emailed D-Rock. I was like,
did you print? Oh, tell me more. Sorry, I thought you were gonna say the email from Ryan offering you the job.
I have the text still. It's a screenshot that I have.
Why don't you print it and frame it?
I will. I will. But I also have the email that I respectfully declined the job position, which is scary, dude. Yeah, dude. So I declined my dream job to work for this dude that I've never even heard of. I just heard it was on TV. And
What do you think D-Rock's expression was when he received that email that you were saying no thank you? No, D-Rock, I appreciate the dream job that I wanted in New York that you're offering me.
Yeah.
I'm good.
we've spoken about this, months later. We're like friends now, but I think he respected it. Like, I'm sure, like, he thought it was crazy. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, bro, like, he's known of me. I was that guy pestering him in his DMs,
Right.
like, yo, can I get a job? Like,
But did you tell him, like, I respectfully decline because I'm going to work with Ryan Serhant?
yeah, but at the time,
so
Ryan
it's
was
understood.
nobody.
Right, so I guess that's even more respectable because it's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to go and make him, he's already a somebody. I'm going to go and make his social presence
Yeah, there you go.
dope as fuck.
Yeah, literally, yeah. And I think that...
Did you write that?
Huh?
Did you write exactly that?
No, I will send you this email on the side because I think it's so fucking cool. But I think he respected it. You know what I mean? He's since told me he's proud of me, and I've come a long way from bugging him. Dude, I have this old video. I've archived it. But the first time I was vlogging by myself, like as I was making the kids videos, where D-Rock responded to my one of my first DMs, and I was geeking out, dude. I'm like, whoa, this guy who's like in New York and like living my dream job, responded. And I'm freaking out on camera. So I've come a long way.
And the journey is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I've gone really lucky. I think honestly, dude, it's a level of like delusion, bro. I mean, I feel like I didn't take no for an answer, and I was like, what? Like, what could possibly go wrong? I think you need a level of that to do what I'm doing.
Your perseverance is like the epitome of the people that I try to get on this show. Self-starters. Like, you pushed, you followed up.
Yeah.
You didn't take no for an answer. That's fucking real, and that's something that, like, everything that you've gone through in your life, everybody could take notes. Not like 100% of it, but you can get like a 5, 10, 15% of your life, and everybody should be able to add that to the recipe of what they're doing.
I completely agree, dude. It's like that one quote, and it's honestly like the reason that like I keep going. It's like the people who fail are the ones who just quit. You know what I mean? I just refuse to quit, bro. And maybe that's like the delusion. But if you look at people like Ryan, like he just doesn't stop. You know what I mean? I think that's why he's successful.
He doesn't stop, and when he has an opportunity, it's kind of like a great running back. And I hate to talk about Le'Veon Bell, but Le'Veon Bell was the type of running back that was patient, and when he saw a hole, he fucking hit it.
Yeah.
He waited, but when he hit it, he hit it hard,
yeah.
he hit it fast. And from talking to Ryan, that's how his life went.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems like you've done a little bit of that too.
Yeah, dude. No, totally. I've learned a lot from Ryan. Again, like I'm the guy. The guy changed my life, dude. The guy gave me an opportunity when nobody else did, dude. When I first moved here, I DM'd at least 47 people asking if I could work for free because I had an interview with D-Rock, and the feedback that I got was I had no real experience. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna move here and I'm gonna work for everybody, and nobody wanted to work with me. And then I ran into this guy who just happened to be on a TV show, and so I'm just really grateful that this guy, and I worked for free. I did the whole thing for a long time, and so I'm just.
So what were you doing to pay rent, to
Dude,
eat? Were you sending home? Were you sending money for your kids?
Dude,
Like,
every
what was
month,
going
all the
on?
money that I made, all $700 that I could afford to send back to my children's mother, I was living off dollar pizza, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, dude. And there was times where I just didn't pay rent, dude. Bro, the day Ryan texted me asking if I wanted a full-time job, I had $12 in my bank account and was ready to call my mom and see if she can spot me money to buy a plane back home. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as much as I don't believe
Would
in
you
everything.
say that is like, because my next question was going to be, you moved here 5.5, 6 years ago, and then there's that working, and that perseverance. What was that rock bottom give up moment? Because it seems like you were about to hit that I'm going to give up moment, and as someone who doesn't give up, you almost hit it.
I was there, dude. I was literally that day. I was crafting a text to my mom because my mom isn't like she's a teacher, dude. Like teachers are underpaid, so she doesn't make a lot of money. So it was like I was like, dude, I can't ask my mom for like $300. You know what I mean? It was either like $300 to get a ticket back home so I can get a regular job, or just spot me for like another couple weeks, dude. If there was anything that like rock bottom is great because that's like a good foundation to just like fucking build on, right? And that's what it was. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask my mom if she could spot me $300 if I could stay. And thank God Ryan texted me that day because I didn't know how I was gonna make money after that $300. I was gonna ask my mom for it.
Did you ever express, like, while working for free with Ryan Serhant, who sells multi-million-dollar homes?
Yeah.
Did you ever express, I'm broke?
No, because I never wanted it to be about money, dude. Eventually, because I was freelancing at the time. Between January and May of 2018, I was freelancing for free. I mean, I think I was paid like $50 like a video, but it was like anything. I didn't ask for it. I was just excited to be in the room. And then there was a point where when he gave me a full-time job, and there was like I was being paid. And then over time, you learn, you understand your worth as a creative, and I was able to ask for money. And just again, for me, with Ryan, I never try to make it about money. Like my job, what I'm gonna pull from here is relationships and knowledge. I never expected to be paid, extremely well. You know what I mean? Like I'm paid well now, I think.
Are you happy with how much money you're making now?
Now, yeah.
Oh, well, now, not only do you have your full-time job here
Yeah.
at Serhant,
Yeah.
but you're probably also making influencer dollars.
I'm on track to way past my and that's like that's the weird conversation I have with Ryan. It's like I want to be here, but like I just know there's more potential over here.
Yeah. And do you think that he would match? Is that a thing?
No.
Could he match?
No. I know. I mean, I wouldn't want to because I'm not that I'm disconnected from here, but I think there's harder working people downstairs who, like, I'm fine. Like I'm even talking to him like, I'm gonna reduce my salary to as little as necessary
The Tom Brady move.
to take care of the people that are down there, and so that I could be involved but still have the freedom to do the things I want to do outside of work.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Because here it's the relationship that's important to me.
So what does the next 6 months look like
Yeah.
for Adrian?
Yeah. I'm going to be this summer, so I'm going part-time here pretty soon. And then it's going to be a lot of building, dude. Right now I have meetings with a couple manufacturers to just talk about what a first product could look like. I have collabs planned for long-form videos because I really want to figure out the long-form stuff.
You want to figure out the collaboration aspect?
The
or just,
collaboration,
the best formatting.
the best format for long form. So I have, for example, the traveling to build a chair thing. That's a real thing. There's a kid in Canada who makes these really unique chairs. So I'm gonna fly to him. He's gonna teach me how to build a chair. I'm just trying to lock in that Home Depot. brand partnership, because if I don't have to pay for the travel or get some dollars out of it.
Is there a reason you're going to Canada? What if you also had a chair maker in Queens?
There's something, the title is like kind of what I flew across the country to learn how to build a chair. This is much more fascinating that I went around the block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or more so left the country.
Yeah, I left the country to learn how to build a chair. I think is a much more fascinating title than I stayed in New York. You know what I mean? Like
100%. And I'm just thinking because I have a good friend of mine, JC Landa Interiors, where they make custom furniture for people. I've seen them make a bed for a child that looked like a hockey rink.
Oh, that's sick.
It was a Rangers bed, and the bed looks like a hockey rink.
That's sick.
Like
that's cool. Yeah. I want to meet all those people, so I still would love the intro. But for the long form stuff, it needs to. Dude, we live in a world where Mr. Beast kind of fucked it all up for us. Thank you, Mr. Beast.
It all needs to be clickable.
It's clickable. It's fast. It needs to be like a good here's a challenge, and it's gonna be crazy. So. And unfortunately, you have to play by the rules, bro, to be seen. You know what I mean?
I do.
So that's kind of where I'm trying to figure out.
Play by the rules, but in your own unique way.
Yeah. You have to play the game.
Yeah.
You have to play the game.
And that's like a big thing with being a creative.
Yeah.
Like I talk to you, I talk to Christian, I talk to Gabe, and everyone tells me, well, you got to do this because this is how XYZ does it.
Yeah.
And they get the clicks.
Yeah.
So you got to follow their format,
Yeah.
which for me, I don't like that. I don't like having to follow the format that's fed. And I get it because the algorithm says, and they are successful because of the short attention span and the way that things are edited.
Yeah.
But I don't like that.
I agree. I don't disagree. And you're not wrong, dude. Like it is annoying because I would love to have like a slower paced video, and maybe there is, and that's why I think I'm trying super hard to like earn the right to do that with my audience. I don't think I'm there yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, I still believe you have to play the game to get an opportunity to play the game the way you want to play the game. That's the way that I see it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Think about it this way, dude. Like Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, they only got discovered because they were making cover songs. You know what I mean? And I remember specifically seeing a Shawn Mendes video. Before he was Shawn Mendes, the videos that got views were cover videos. His original music at the time, shitty views. You have to build that trust. You have to give the audience what they want. You know what I mean? And then when he's Shawn Mendes, where he has, you know what I mean, he has a good fan base. He's like, let me try this original song thing again.
Shawn Mendes, a good fan base.
You know what I mean?
Pretty
but
massive.
it's that you have to play the game. Like I'm sure Justin Bieber didn't love putting out covers for the first 2 years of his career.
Yeah.
But that's how he got discovered. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, cool. I have these people. I have that trust. Let me put out the Justin Bieber songs that people like. So you have. I agree with you, but you got to play the game to earn the right to play the game the way you want to play it. That's the way that I see it.
I respect it. Are you reading anything right now?
I just read a book. I hate reading, and I read this book. It's really quick. It's
Is there
really.
a reason you hate reading?
I think I'm dyslexic, dude.
Okay.
I think I'm not like there's so much going on in here. If like I'm reading, I'm thinking about something else. And
Well, here's the thing. When do you read?
in bed recently. I don't know.
So like, I read first thing I do when I wake up in the morning.
Okay.
Before I look at my phone. If I look at my phone before I start reading, when I open the book, my head's already like going, and I'm thinking about other things. But if I literally wake up and I open up the book and I don't consume anything, and I go right to that, and it's early enough. My son is not up yet. My wife's still sleeping. My dog's still sleeping. Everyone's sleeping. I grab a glass of water and I open up the book. And however much I could read before consuming anything, that's great for the day. But if I look at the phone first, I'm fucked.
Dude, see that I have a fucked up habit of before I go to sleep, I will screenshot my videos. In the morning, I'll screenshot it. I'll go into my camera roll and I'll compare views.
First thing you do.
First thing I do.
What if you read 5 pages before you did that?
I'll think about like, oh, I wonder how the video did, or I wonder how like, dude, my head is like fucked.
So try it.
I will.
It's like exercising. Like, oh, I can't lift that. You don't know if you can lift that weight unless you try and pick it up.
And maybe, dude, it's the same way where like I won't eat vegetables, but I'll drink athletic greens. I've just found that if I'm not going to read books, I'll listen to podcasts. I stopped listening to music.
That's fair enough. I just started physically reading books, like enjoying physically reading books, like 2 years ago.
Nice.
Before that, for the last, I mean, I started actually like consuming a lot of books maybe like 5-6 years ago.
Nice.
Fucking Audible.
Nice.
Ton of Audibles.
Yeah.
Oh, you're driving in the car? Why are you listening to music? Consume content.
Yeah.
Content being a book.
Yeah.
Always be learning. Be learning. I would
I
go
agree.
for a run. Leave my apartment, go for an hour and a half run.
Yeah.
Listening to a book. And listening to a book, you don't want to stop running. It's not like song is over, what's the next track to keep me going.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a book and I never want to stop
There's
running.
a continuous stream of thought.
And I'm not going for speed or going for distance. I'm just going for the exercise.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to stop
Yeah.
because I'd just be consuming.
That's why I love podcasts so much,
There you
dude. Because
go.
I'm learning. I do agree. Never stop learning. But also too is like the book that I read is called Steal Like an Artist by
Steal Like an Artist.
Great book. It's by Austin Kleon. It's the idea that nothing's original anymore. Like great content, great art is fucking taken from someone else, dude. It's like it's taking from people you aspire, like the Casey Neistats of the world, who are like the guy, like the godfather of vlogging. If you look at people he's inspired by, very similar formats. So you just find the people you look up to, see who they look up to, and just pull from a lot of different people. You know what I mean? Nothing's original anymore.
Right. So it's not a matter of reinventing the wheel. It's taking someone else's wheels,
Yeah.
concocting them, and making your own dope wheel out of it.
Seriously, and the theme of the book is that there's honor amongst thieves. If you steal properly, where it's not like a blatant ripoff, it's respected, dude. If you can find a format, tweak it, make it better, it's cool. You know what I mean? I feel like other people, the original person respects that.
I was gonna say, as long as you acknowledge,
100%.
like,
Yeah.
do it like Puffy did it, not like Vanilla Ice did it.
Like Caleb Simpson's a good example. He's like the modern MTV Cribs.
Yep.
But he's acknowledging it's that. You know what I mean? He's doing that same format. You know what I mean? His like cash cab thing, he acknowledges it's like a cash cab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's nothing's original anymore.
Right,
dude.
like this was viral. It's no longer, but it's super smart.
Yeah.
Now that I have built my audience and my comfortability with my audience, let's try this other dope form of content
Literally
that was successful, that I enjoyed, and put it out to my people and see if they enjoy it.
Yeah. So that book has helped me out a lot because I feel like creatives always feel like they have to put something out super original, and that's impossible these days, dude. And like the best way to do it is just find a ton of inspo, dude. So I'm listening to podcasts, I'm consuming content, so I could just see what's out there and then just grab all the pieces that I think are working, make it in my own thing, and then like that's the original.
So, Steal Like an Artist.
Yeah.
And what's your go-to podcast?
Depends. If I just want to like not think about anything, I listen to the Impulsive podcast or the Andrew Schultz podcast. But I'm listening to a lot of How I Built This by Guy Raz. And
What's your favorite episode?
It's cheesy. The Burnt Bees one was super interesting because I just didn't expect that story. And then
Sarah Blakely?
I don't think I've heard that one yet.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
And the Zoomies one. I wanted to work at Zoomies when I was younger.
Zoomies was great.
Yeah.
The Zoomies one was great. The Zumba one was great.
Oh, yeah, that was
The
good.
Zumba one was fantastic, and I'm like, that could never happen nowadays.
Yeah.
But like, super smart.
And then Shake Shack was good. He brought on
Danny Meyer?
Danny Meyer.
I just listened to Danny Meyer on Tim Ferriss's podcast.
Yeah.
Read Danny Meyer's book. Will Guerra, Will Guerra's a homie I grew up with. Will, one of his disciples,
Got it, okay.
also wrote a book about hospitality. The guy who he ended up selling 11 Madison Park to.
Oh.
And the whole thing, it's just hospitality books.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
A big proponent in my life is the importance of hospitality, doing right to others.
Yep.
And just like making people feel good.
100%.
And that good energy you put out
Yeah.
will come back tenfold. But it's not about it coming tenfold. It's just a matter of like
The intention of just
the
doing.
intention of just doing that, like doing right on others just because it's the right thing to do and it feels good to help other people feel good.
100%. So those are my favorite. And then Colin and Samir, they're they're creators who dive into the creator economy and what creators are doing well and what's out there. And it's just, I just like to stay on my toes, dude. I like to keep the knives sharp at all times.
I love the analogy. Give me one word of advice for anyone trying to make it in New York.
Get out of your own way, dude. I feel like a lot of creatives are always like in their head about putting out something because they're gonna perceived a certain way, dude. I always think back to Kyle, he's the rapper. Like I spy with my little eye. That guy, the Lil Yachty collab. He almost didn't put that song out, but that's the song that put him on, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. It's like the what if, you know what I mean? So put out content. I think it's perfection is something that artists chase. And what I've learned is that it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. And like that's been a good kick in the ass for me.
Dude, thank you.
Was that good?
That was fantastic. Thank you
All
for
right.
coming on the show.
Of course.
Self-starters, Adrian Vázquez. Tune
Damn.
back in because that was fucking awesome. And more from Adrian. His contacts below. Yeah, his shit's about to pop off if it hasn't
Damn.
popped off already.
Thanks for having me on, bro. Appreciate you. Woo!
Great.
That was good.